So the head of the DOC, his name is Paul Schnell. He only oversees state prisons, not local jails. That is important because it's unclear what systems, timeframes, or even documentation that Bovina is using to make such allegations. When Schnell says any people that the feds are publicly citing have either never been incarcerated in a Minnesota prison, and if there was an immigration hold, sometimes called a detention, if any of that ever existed, they were in fact released to ICE.
All right, good afternoon.
In his first public news conference since last month's immigration enforcement surge in Minneapolis, Border Czar Greg Bovino defended agent tactics.
Our officers remain professional, focused, courteous, and committed to the mission.
He also says the federal agency arrested 113 violent offenders over the weekend, while also alleging nearly 1,400 undocumented criminals with an immigration hold are in state custody. Department of Corrections Commissioner Paul Schnell denying that.
We simply cannot figure out where these names are coming from.
Schnell says there are only 207 non-U.S. citizens in the prison system right now. And in a news release says state law requires his agency notify ICE when someone in their custody is undocumented, and it's up to ICE to place a hold and arrange to pick them up.
We have not had a request from them to say, turn over the 207 people we have detainers for in your custody. No.
Bovino also accuses the state of releasing nearly 500 undocumented criminals with holds. Schnell lists several people the feds have cited, saying public records show they were either never in state custody, were taken into ICE custody, or are in another jurisdiction.
Here we are trying to work together and collaborate, and yet this information is being put out that's just fundamentally false. And that's why I think we want to make sure that we're trying to correct the record. And trust me, if there was a human error made on our part, we're going to own that, address it, fix it, figure out what happened. But to date, we have not found a single instant of that.
Schnell reiterates that the DOC has never been in violation of an ICE detainer, and last year, in fact, released 84 people to ICE, notifying them and even facilitating that transfer, only saying that state law prohibits them from holding people beyond their release date or terms of bail. So again, they will not hold people in prison if, because of state law, says they've got to be let go once they serve their time or conditions of bail.
Well, Schnell, like you mentioned, in charge of state prisons. Are they talking about local jails or county jails?
It's a good question. We don't know. We don't know where Bovino is getting any of this data tonight. And the two are very separate, too. We don't have that data from local jails and who might be there on an immigration hold. We also don't have correct names or date of births to try to do some of our own digging on that as well.
All right. Thank you, Jennifer.